Hello everybody, my name is Minkaro and welcome back to Slammed. Been a while since I played this, but I'm going to try and finish the game. I've been asking on Facebook if people want me to continue it. I haven't really had much response either way, so I'm going to try and finish the game, but I'm going to maybe sort of do a batch of Slammed recordings and then try and mix that up with me playing other games. So it'll be maybe a few episodes of Slammed, then something else, a few episodes of Slammed, and so on and so forth. Hopefully that will keep it slightly fresher. So let's get back into the game. Obviously if you want to just click onto the last video that I did of this and watch the end of that just to catch yourself up, that's fine. I think I'm okay knowing where I am. So let's continue. You barely had time to do more than blink, but the fist stopped a hair short of your nose. Too easy, said a familiar voice. Where's your pride as a wrestling team captain? The fist is withdrawn, and you find yourself looking at an old friend. Your best friend. JJ! JJ? Oh, okay. Jasper J. Delgado was NCAA Division I champion at 197 pounds for 3 years running now. For each of those 3 years, he had been the captain of the Brooks College wrestling team. It would be a lie to say that he taught you all you know about wrestling, but Jasper was the one who took your game to the next level. With his help, you finally won the 184-pound championship last year, after 2 years of falling short in the finals. JJ was someone you greatly admired, and it gave you a lot of confidence going into your matches that JJ was in your corner, so to speak. But things were going to be different this year. After an incident at the school involving a gang of known bullies being turned into a gang of whiny hospital patients, Jasper had to move to another college. Because he still wanted to wrestle, he bit the bullet and joined St. Braun's University, Brooks' greatest rival. You succeeded him as team captain, and Jasper became the new star of the Braun boys, and now he was competing at 184 pounds. You were the top 2 seeds this year, so chances were that coming to the finals you'd be facing your best friend. I never thought that this was how my senior year would go. I never really thought about it until now. Or I suppose it was inevitable, in a way. Well, I suppose if we're meant to be the best at the Brooks College, and he's the best at the Braun University, then it's kind of inevitable, isn't it? That we're going to end up facing each other. In a sense, you knew that someday you'd need to test yourself against JJ, in something other than a friendly spar. You shake yourself. It was not the time to get lost in your thoughts. It had been almost a year since you last saw JJ, and while you had kept in touch online, it was great to see him in person. You took his hand in a firm grip. JJ was grinning from ear to ear, and you imagined that you were as well. How do you know we'd be here? JJ shook his head. Come on, I've only been gone a year. Since you told me about Ringo's closing, I knew that Boom Boom would be the only place near school showing GWA pay-per-views live. You heard a crackle, followed by coughing sounds. You and JJ turned to see the waiter looking in dismay at the smoking flat screen. Or at least they used to. JJ scratched his head. Why don't we bring the team over to my old place? The tenant just moved out and we can order the PPV there. My treat. Thanks, but I don't think that's a good idea. We're opponents now. Great, it'll be just like old times. Sure, why not? I don't really care I watch the PPV. Okay, I don't think there's much wrong with us working with him. Apologies for the sort of lizard moment there. Yeah, let's go for that one. I think, thinking back to when I played this game before, that he is going to become somebody that we're enemies with in the future, but for now, let's just be. JJ slapped on the back. Such enthusiasm, he drawled. He waved the others over to tell them the news. JJ's house was furnished differently. The last tenant must have had a thing for grey wood, but one thing that remained the same was the enormous television set in the living room. The place brought back fond memories, playing games, watching movies, mostly wrestling, whether it be GWA shows or recordings of your opponents. By the time you got last one standing on the screen, Gris was beside himself with excitement. You'd missed half the first match, but Gris's complaints soon died down as he watched the battle for the GWA Tag Team Championship unfold. "What are you doing, Alala?" Gris was gnashing his teeth. "Yuli's here, and I'm never watching GWA again." "Whatever, Gris," you and JJ said in unison. The two of you shared a smile. "Does he still threaten to quit pro wrestling 4 times a show?" asked JJ. "Oh yes, only if your tours aren't on." And let's go for the I stopped counting option. Gris's love-hate relationship with pro wrestling had grown from endearing to exasperating very quickly. Gris was the one who introduced you and JJ to the GWA. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say reintroduced in your case. The Global Wrestling Alliance is the most prestigious and lucrative wrestling federation in the world. One of the splinter groups that formed out of the collapse of Haskell Muchnik's Championship Wrestling universe in the late 80s. It survived competition with the likes of the League of Heavyweights and a brutal corporate civil war to become the uncontested leader in the field of professional wrestling. You'd been an avid fan in your youth, back in what was referred to as the Ejective era, with stars such as Flashing Frank Garfield, Sweet Taffy Torres and Brutal Bukowski. Your interest waned when you entered high school, and when Gris forced you to watch an episode of Wednesday Night Wrestling, the GWA's flagship show, you were shocked by how radically different the product was, all of it embodied by one man. "And now," rumbled the bass voice of Nick Varnish, the great narrator of the GWA, "it's time for tonight's main event." Even just watching on television, you and your friend could feel the electricity in the air. Entering the ring first, from New York City. You all leaned in closer to the screen as a crowd roared, equally divided between adulation and derision. "Drop the champ! Drop the champ!" Each shout like a drumbeat. "Champ forever! Champ forever!" Each sing-song chant like a pulse rating. "Your undisputed global wrestling champion, Solitary!" I stand up and cheer. I boo loudly. Watch silently. Okay, so this guy is kind of I'm just gonna quit Skype there. Yeah. So this guy is kind of this game's version of the Hulk Hogan, John Cena type character. Obviously, the guy that is a super face, a la Hulk Hogan. He's a guy that they're pushing to be the main champ. But on the John Cena kind of scale of things, Roman Reigns now as well, he's the guy that some people cheer for, some people boo. But I'm going to base this on my personal opinions. I actually quite like John Cena. I think he's a very good wrestler. I do agree that the booking of him has been iffy, to say, you know, to put it in the best terms possible. And I don't like the whole, oh, it's 4-on-1 against John Cena. Oh, but he's won anyway, because, you know, fuck it, he's John Cena. But that's obviously something I need to talk about another time, and not fill up this video with. But I'm going to cheer him. Solitary, the eternal champion. The year after Solitary joined the GWA was the year of the most radical shift in the history of the Alliance. To rekindle dwindling interest in professional wrestling, Cameron Dobbs, GWA CEO, announced that they would start incorporating shoot fights, unscripted matches, in their cards, which matches were worked, scripted, and which were actual fights, became the most closely guarded secret in the industry. But while the initial announcement was met with a great deal of scepticism, it soon became apparent, even to casual viewers, that some of the matches being shown on live television were not being choreographed beforehand. While the GWA brass fought off legal and moral challenges, audience interest soon spiked, and Wednesday Night Wrestling reached new ratings heights. Then Dobbs took it a step further and announced that from Ring of Valhalla X onwards, the GWA World Championship would only change hands in a fight. At ROVX, GWA reigning champion Paul Prototypes was paired with an unheralded cruiserweight called Hodge Stevens, ring name Solitary. The move was met with much criticism. What did it matter if the fight was unscripted, if it's so clearly a mismatch? And then, Solitary won. Okay, so, obviously our big stars, I've said. But I think I've reached the end of this episode. So thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Take care. Goodbye.